Hi, everyone, and welcome to Adam's Music Box, where today we've just learned of the death of Dickey Betts, one of the three guitar players in the original Allman Brothers band. This was a very unique band because it is credited quite rightly with inventing a genre of music, namely Southern rock. There were, of course, many influences that led us to that point, but when the Allman Brothers formed in '69, Southern rock was something new. And their model was one that was special, even among the other Southern rock bands, the many Southern rock bands that came after them. What made them so special was a combination of brilliant songwriting, virtuosic but at times understated musicianship, but most of all, the ability to jam like mad. In many ways, they were the Southern counterpart of the Grateful Dead. If the Grateful Dead took jamming and improvisation to a new level with a sound derived from West Coast, Northern California psychedelia, the Allman Brothers Band took all of the various genres that were given birth to in the South. So you've got blues, you've got country music, you've got rhythm and blues, you've got elements of Mississippi jazz, which is distinct from the jazz from the Yankee part of the United States. You've got spirituals, you've got gospel music, you've got traditional hymns, you've got traditional Dixie folk songs. And when you put all of this together, give the band modern rock instruments and tell them to improvise like crazy, but always in a very tasteful way, never anything distasteful about the way these guys jammed. And you've got the Allman Brothers Band. Their first couple of albums were respected by the people who heard them, but it really wasn't until their Live at the Fillmore East from '71 came out that they really became household names, not just through North America, but throughout the world. Things like Whipping Post, what a song that is. Zappa had a lot of fun with that. And the list goes on. Jessica, which became such a huge hit that on UK television, and then it got exported around the world, Top Gear used that as its theme song for decades. And so, even though it was never necessarily intended to be about cars, although you could say it's a good driving song for loads of people, when they hear Jessica, you think, I wonder what car they're going to test out next. And of course, Dickey Betts himself provided vocals for Rambling Man, one of the very top hits of the Allman Brothers. The three guitarists, Dwayne Allman, Greg Allman, and Dickey Betts, really formed the core of the group. Playing with two guitars in a band isn't easy, let alone playing with three. And it was never really divided in the traditional sort of lead, rhythm, somewhat of a trade. It was a different kind of playing that incorporated some unison playing, some trading, some soloing, while the others are also soloing. It got really intricate, but there was just a kind of free flowing spontaneity to that band that made them very special. And audiences kept seeing them throughout the decades. They broke up for the first time in 1975, got back together in the early '80s, then again in the early '90s, and whatever iteration, and even after the tragic death of Dwayne Allman in 1971, and then the loss of Greg Allman just a few years ago, I think it was in 2017, the band's popularity endured, and now one of the three great amigos, if you will, of the front three of the Allman Brothers, Dickey Betts, is sadly gone as well. But his songs, along with the ones he wrote with Greg and Dwayne, are going to live forever. They've delighted audiences for years. And so today, while we mourn the loss of Dickey Betts at the age of 80, we celebrate all of the great music that he composed and improvised and played within that great big Allman Brothers band. Thanks for listening. Take care.